Welcome back into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. I am not looking forward to today's show because Jeremy's here. I don't like it. I don't like you. I don't like. Oh, you can't even unmute yourself.
Come on, guys. It's a beautiful day outside. I went out and I ran today this morning.
I'm proud of you.
Absolutely beautiful outside today. It was a cool 78 outside, super nice weather. I mean, it's amazing outside. Everybody, hey, just be happy. It's a great day to be alive.
I don't like you.
What?
You're going to be a problem for me all day.
I'm just trying to be positive.
I don't trust a word out of your mouth.
I'm just trying to be positive.
I don't trust a word out of your mouth. A very dark day for Cowboys fans to be. Yes, it is. To be honest here. Your offense looked like absolute cheeks. Now your quarterback's hurt again. You are the only NFC East team without a win. So 3 options. How you feel right now? B for broken, S for you're in shambles, D for you're devastated. Like if you're a Cowboys fan, you're like, I feel great. I think you're crazy. Micro Mike likes it, I guess. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. It's not a good feeling today. It's not. I don't feel any better than what I did last night. Like, I don't. I really don't. So how you feeling right now? B, S, or D? Deadshot and Jeff Bledsoe, along with Isaiah, TKG, Sergio, all typed in all of the above. That absolutely works. Because that's rough. Not good at all. Shambles was me last night. I was a bit broken as well. I don't know. What are the 5 stages of grief again, Jeremy? You know off the top of your head? The 5 stages of grief?
It's acceptance.
So that's definitely not the right order.
No.
You definitely don't begin with acceptance. That's definitely how you finish the 5 stages of grief.
No.
You do not begin with acceptance. I'm Googling now. There's not a chance you start with I accept things. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. I don't ever really go through the denial stuff because we knew it was happening. I was definitely angry last night.
Are you bargaining?
I think I got over the bargaining quickly. I'm definitely not interested in the depression stage.
Okay. That's fair.
I tend to get quickly to depression, and then I'm like, okay, we'll go from there. But that's just me. Yeah. So, how do you guys feel? B, S, or D? I see broken from Mr. Fire, devastated from Marquise Robertson. Casey Williams, know if Micah can play quarterback. Maybe. S, D, B. I see B from Demo, 95. Rashard Lee thinks Cooper Rush is going to save us. Okay. Not if the offense was like it did last night. That's just not going to be great. It's not going to go well at all. See, you got that big-ass smile. I want to punch you so hard.
I told you, I'm just happy.
It's funny.
I'm a happy person.
My team's going to win the NFC East.
I didn't say that.
You thought it, though.
I did. I very well did.
There you go. I don't trust
Guys,
you.
the next question on today's show.
This is the pin poll, too. Do you have any hope left?
Do ya?
Y for yes, N for no. I mean, I think you're going to win maybe 2 games with Dak out.
Maybe.
I think you're going to go 2-5-ish. Somewhere in that range. Like, maybe he comes back sooner, and maybe you make a run at that point and, like, win 6 or 7, but, like, your offense isn't good. Like, as it turns out, when you lose 3 of your 4 best receivers, then you lose 4 of your top 8 offensive linemen in that game, now you're in a situation where you have 1 new guy to replace them. It's bad.
Dude, if there were only any wide receivers y'all could have traded for this offseason, I mean that's just what. There was not a lot of movement at all. So.
No, I mean, the Cowboys' mindset was like, we'll be fine. We're going to get actively worse on offense and then be like, wow, why are we bad? Come on, we all knew this was a very real outcome. You'll get Gallup back in maybe week 3. That'll help you, but, like, your O-line isn't good. Your receiving core is not good. Your rookies, your 2nd and 3rd round picks played 6 snaps for you last night. Come on, you had a shit offseason. Super chat, though, from Marcos McDowell. He says Ryan Fitzpatrick, which would be fine if he weren't retired and I think done in the NFL. I don't think he can stay healthy anymore. That hip injury was bad. This time last year, if you were a free agent, yes. Now, not so much. Here's your super chat menu. $1 equals a shout out. $5 equals a beer cheers. I got some more beer here. We'll do it. $15, it's a shot. Now, you can pick me or Jeremy to do said shot. We did get some more Patron since I finished that off last night. I stopped in on my way this morning. $50, you can slap me because I am a masochist as a Cowboys fan, and sometimes the pain feels good. 50 total, or excuse me, 500 total. Jeremy set the price tag. He's scared today. You're scared. You absolutely are. You've never done 500 total for me to slap you.
Okay, yeah, and this isn't
You're scared.
This isn't one person sending in 500. This is just if
total.
we get to 500 total. But I don't know. I felt like with where Cowboys fans were at, I felt like if I made it 50, that I would be slapped a lot.
You're scared.
Well, I mean, we'll see. How about this? The first two 50s, I'll accept those.
Okay.
The first two 50s, but I don't think we'll get them.
Okay.
Because, I mean,
still scared.
Cowboys fans are broken the mind and broken the heart right now. Mm-hmm. I don't even know about their wallets, so it's just a total downfall for Dallas sports fans. I mean, hey, NBA starts in 2 months, right?
If you say so. Sure. All right, let's do some blaming here. Who is the most to blame for the Cowboys' offensive issues, particularly last night? I do, by the way, think there's a right answer. Now, there's also almost zero wrong answers at the same time because you can blame everything, but I think there is one answer in particular that is correct. I'll give some shout-outs here. Joseph Rodriguez says Jerry Jones. Glenn White says Kellen Moore. Terrence Steele, Dak in the O-line. Thexton Third says the Joneses. G-Man Duke says Jerry Jones, Kellen Moore, Jerry and Steven, Mike McCarthy, Steven, the Joneses, Dak and O-line, Dak, Mike McCarthy, Steven and Jerry, Dak, Kellen Moore, Steven Jones, Jerry and Kellen, Jerry, Steven Jones. The answer is the Joneses in the end. Because look, think about it this way. That game last night, what went right? You ran the ball pretty well with Zeke Elliott. You did a good job of getting 5 yards almost every play. We handed it off to Zeke. Here's the problem. When you find yourself in 1st and 15 because your right tackle is a spaz and can't sit still and false starts, and then there's a hold, and there's another penalty, and you are the penalty boy still, you can't throw it on 1st and 15, or can't run it on 1st and 15, 1st and 20 frequently. You are now forced to pass it.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, your offensive line is not good at pass protecting because you moved on and or lost to an injury. 4 of your best 8 linemen from last year, you brought in 1 new guy. CeeDee Lamb was bracketed, didn't have a good game. Now you've got Noah Brown as your number 1 receiver with Lamb taken out. What are we doing out there? Come on, guys. Let's be realistic here. It wasn't a good receiving core. Yeah. You had drops when you did throw it. Yeah. Tight windows, no one easily open. No easy plays.
Yeah.
Like, how many easy plays of all right, we got the ball to Lamb in space. Run a pick play one time. One time. God. Run mesh one time. And they never do it. There were penalties again, and Dak was terrible. Everything went wrong. How many QBs in the NFL win that game last night for the Cowboys? Honest question, Jeremy. How many QBs?
I mean, if you had Jalen Hurts, 100%.
Okay.
You
See,
win that game.
I said honest question.
I know, and I'm giving you an honest answer.
No, you don't.
Jalen Hurts, you win that game.
No, you
don't. They went up against a Lions defense that was fierce. Mike was there. He was calling the game.
Lions.
He was calling the game the whole time. They were killing it the whole time. Jalen Hurts taking the ball down the field. He was converting those 3rd down, 4th down plays. They had Jalen Hurts. Game 1 for the Cowboys.
I can't take you seriously. I said seriously.
Besides Jalen Hurts, I would say him plus the rest of the top 10, which Dak is not in.
You think 10 cube, don't you? Chase, I'm going to slap you in the face if you come on there.
Wait.
No, absolutely not. No.
Let me can I see?
I don't like this. All right, that's fine.
All right, here we go. How about them Cowboys?
I'm being bullied on my own show. I don't like this.
How about them Cowboys?
I talked to HR.
Oh, God darn it.
I'm being bullied on my own show.
This is great.
Howdy, partner. How we doing, Cowboy fans?
I'm taking a personal day tomorrow. Anyway, I don't think it's the top 10. I think it's Mahomes, and I honestly don't know if it's anyone else. Like, the comparison I made last night was like the Packers look like trash on offense. And it's a similar situation, right? Their offensive line's bad. Their receiving core's bad. They got good ground game. They scored 7 points against the Vikings, who I think are a lesser team than Tampa. Deshaun doesn't do it, unless he's suspended. Maybe Herbert can do it, but we've seen Herbert have up and down games.
I mean, okay.
If you play like a top 3 QB, yes.
All seriousness, though. All seriousness. Football's the ultimate team game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you can't put Aaron Rodgers on the University of North Texas' football team and expect them to beat the Patriots. It's not going to happen. You need a good O-line, and you need some weapons. Cowboys depleted in both of them.
And that was by choice. That's why the answer is the Joneses.
What did you say? Out of
your top players last year, 3 of your top 4 receivers are gone or injured or out, whatever, mostly by choice here. And 4 of your top 8 offensive linemen were not available for all but like 3 passing snaps in that game from McGovern, because it's the number I saw. And you replaced all those players, all 7 personnel losses, with one guy. One. That's it.
Who
Tyler Smith, who actually I thought played pretty well last night. But
Jalen Tolbert.
It really is the Pikachu emoji of like, oh, what happened? Like, you actively got worse on offense, and you paid a significant price for it in the end. I don't like it. Super chat time here from Luis D. Garza, $10. I'll do a beer cheers here. Get Sean Payton, then he gets on the phone with Drew Brees and win the Super Bowl. So, Brees is not coming back, guys. He's 43. Let's be realistic here. Come on. Also, if I told you Sean Payton loved Dak Prescott, how would that make you feel? If I told you Sean loved Dak, would that make you feel better about Dak? Or would you just want to go new QB either way? It's fine. All right, Super Chat menu, $1. Shout out. I did 2 beer cheers there for you, Luis. Thank you. $5 beer cheers. 15's a shot. 50 you'll slap me. Jeremy's also offered 2 slaps for 50, and then again at 500 total.
If Cowboys fans can afford it, that's a big if.
All right, let's hit this last question, then we'll start the normal show here. How do you want to get quarterback help? Because it's Russian Greer apparently, which I guess is one of the options here. T for trade, F for free agency, P for practice squad. T, F, or P. I am of the mindset, you know what, you're going to be bad. And you're effed. And the words of Colts OC, Tom House, whatever it was, we don't practice F. You're effed. There's nobody you're going to be able to get that's going to drastically change your playoff outlook here. There's nobody. You can find better QBs, but not enough to change your offense and your playoff chance. It's just not.
Another point to this, if you trade for a guy, if you get a guy in free agency, how long do you think it's going to take that guy to get acclimated with the system?
2 or 3 weeks is like your minimum, I think.
Okay, so then half the time Dak's out,
so then you're back.
They're
in 2
just
weeks.
learning the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my mind. I agree. To Kenneth Easley, Super Chat as the T, F, and P's come in here, and there are plenty of tanks, which fine with actually. It's fine. I have no faith in this team. There's no faith in the offense for me right now. I have no faith in your play calling. I have no faith in your offensive line. I have no faith in your receivers. Even maybe with Michael Gallup back, it's a dumpster. It'll be better. I think week 1 is rock bottom. But how much better is it going to get? I don't know if it's enough in the end. $5 Super Chat here from Kenneth Easley. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. No one can throw the ball with defenders in your face. Don't let Pollard pass block, right? He had some bad reps. And there was one rep where Matt Farniok just got thrown to the side. I will say this too, by the way. I do not think it is an accident that opening drive the Cowboys moved the football pretty well. Then Connor McGovern gets hurt. And Matt Farniok comes in the game, and I thought he was rough on the offensive line. I do not think he fared well. They had 14 pressures in that game overall for the Cowboys. That's a very high amount of pressures that you don't like to see from that perspective. It's not good at all. And I think the addition of Farniok having to play was a big factor in that. All right, we're going to start today's show here like the video so we can get today's show going. Let me know in the comment section, or not do that, I'm getting distracted here. Like the video. We're at 400 plus live here, but like it for me. Let's get to at least 100 here so we can tell Jeremy to F off. Yeah, it's not going to be a cut, but we're fine. Yeah. Like the video so we can start today's show. We're at 7. Oh, I missed the 69 like. I can't even have that. That's just disappointing for me. 400 people watching live. Like the video so we can start today's show. We can hit it for the replacements cut just kind of early on. That's fine. So like the video. We'll get going here momentarily. Here's what's on tap for today's show, by the way. We'll do some a little bit of news. If you missed today's video, I'll recap it fresh for you with Dak and other injury stuff here. We'll do some Q&A. Use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat. And we will also do some Dak replacements. That is short-term replacements, to be clear. The longer-term conversation on Dak we will have, because I think all options should be on the table at this point for this Cowboys team. I think that's a very fair option with 4 injuries in 3 years for Dak. I had 100 likes. Let's get started here, my friends. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Let's recap everything that's gone on. Recent today, I should say, injury-wise. First up, the Dak Prescott stuff. If you missed today's video earlier this morning, let's break it down. Prescott suffered a thumb injury in Week 1. Now, it is reportedly a fracture of that thumb on his throwing hand. He will need surgery to fix said injury. Now, the problem you run into here is it needs time to heal, because you saw with Drew Brees when he had his thumb injury, if you can't grip the football, guess what? You can't throw it. So he is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks, which in theory gets him back for the home stretch. There's a very real possibility your season is cooked at that point, and you don't have any real chance of making any noise in the postseason, even in the lesser NFC. I am not confident in this team finding success offensively with Cooper Rush after the dumpster fire we saw in Week 1. That's my mindset. So how screwed are the Cowboys? Scale it for me. 1 to 100. In how bad of shape is this Cowboys team? I think it's bad. Because, your defense played great. You had 3 points on offense. You could barely move the football, period. Now, you ran the ball well, but the penalties, the offensive line, your receiving core, and your quarterback did not play well at all. That was one of the worst games I've seen Dak play. Now, we can do the O-line was bad, receivers bad. That's all fair. Entire team effort, right, on offense. Nothing went right. But Dak gets blamed for that. Here's the problem. We've seen the Cowboys with a more talented roster and a backup quarterback who is better than what the Cowboys have right now. And it didn't go well. The next 7 games of the schedule for the Cowboys: Bengals in Week 2, Giants in Week 3, Commanders in Week 4, Rams in Week 5, Eagles Week 6, Lions 7, Bears in Week 8. How many games are you going to win there? Maybe 2? Maybe a split against the Giants and the Commanders? I don't foresee you beating the Bengals, the Rams, the Eagles. I think you can split the Lions, Bears, but that's, all of a sudden you're in Week 8, you're 2-6. You're going to go on a huge run down the stretch to make the postseason? That's the problem you have at quarterback. Because, yes, Cooper Rush beat the Vikings last year. We've also seen him play a lot of preseason snaps, and it's not good. It is not good at all. The arm strength is not there. It shouldn't be. I don't think it's an accident, by the way, that when Dak leaves that game, as under duress as he was, he took 2 sacks all game. Cooper Rush comes in and immediately takes 2 sacks. Again, sacks are often a quarterback stat. The overall pressures concern me. Garbage time, I know it's a bit of an asterisk there. Will Greer is an option for the practice squad too, but it's just not good. So should the Cowboys add a new quarterback? Y for yes, N for no. At minimum, you got to promote someone from the practice squad, so it's kind of a yes here. Outside the organization, the options aren't great, guys. You're in a situation where you have Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, other quarterbacks who are backups for their teams. If you trade for a QB, because Dak Prescott has been a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, even though he played like a bottom 5 quarterback last night. The offense was bad with Dak. Do we really think there are any options out there that are going to make your offense better? The answer is no. Now, look, getting back Michael Gallup will help your team. It might help CeeDee Lamb play a little bit better. But this offense lost so much this past year, even with the injuries, right? 3 of your top 4 receivers did not play in week 1. Of your top 8 offensive linemen last year, 4 of them did not play and or got hurt, and Connor McGovern, more on that in a minute. So you're down 7 critical key pieces of your offense. And to replace those 7 guys, 1 new player. I'm not good at math. That is never an equation that's going to turn out well. And now your quarterback's hurt too. So yeah, the offense is a huge red flag for me at this point. Let's talk more injuries here. Connor McGovern, high ankle sprain. Seen some different numbers out there. I suspect the Cowboys will try to rush McGovern back from that injury. But he's, I think, might miss 4 to 6 weeks, which is a problem because I thought Matt Farniok was pretty bad. Now, Jaron Kearse, meanwhile, knee sprain. He's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks. I don't think the Cowboys will put him on IR. It's a 4-week minimum from an IR standpoint there, so we'll have to wait and see on that standpoint. But Cowboys injury news has not been good. Dak, of course, is the worst among it, but that's where we sit at this point. All right, so the pin poll today. Do you have any hope left? Y for yes, N for no. Might got to go to sub-only chat today, Jeremy. We'll see. Do you have any hope left? Y for yes, N for no. Short term, the answer is no. Look, I think I speak for pretty much every person watching. We were worried about the personnel losses by choice on offense. And we thought, oh, Michael, I don't remember what video it was, but I said, you know, if we sit down and go, you know what, turns out Noah Brown, rookies, and other guys don't work, no one should be surprised. That's where we're at. So do you have any hope left? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section. It is 71% saying no on that pin poll, which I honestly not surprised by. I'm really not. That makes a lot of sense for me. It is a rough situation here for the Cowboys. Defense played great. And I think there is a very big difference in like the adjustments made by your 2 sides of the ball, right? Micah Parsons getting stonewalled some by Tristan Wirfs. Let's try him against the left tackle. Immediately gets a sack and helps stop drives from resulting in more points there. So it is a very, very rough spot there for the Cowboys. So, no, I don't have much hope here. It is mailbag time. Your smug-ass face, Jeremy. I swear to God.
What?
You're so smug today.
Oh, is it such a crime to be happy?
Today, right to jail. Right to jail. Yes. Stop doing this.
I'm just happy about the day.
Yeah.
It's a good day, Tom.
The voice is not selling it either.
It's a great day today. It is so nice outside. I might go for a walk later. I might take Sadie for a walk.
You say so. All right, 2 ways to get on the show here. Use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat. Those are your options here. I see Will Marshall, Just the King, Dwayne Porter, Kenneth Easley. I see your supers. We'll hit those here. Look at the Super Chat menu real quick, too, here for me, Jeremy. And I'll probably drink here a little bit quickly just to even it out. $1 a shout-out. $5 is a beer cheers. See, that's just, oh, my God.
What?
15's a shot.
I'm just looking
You can pick who does the shot, by the way. Kenneth, if you throw in 5 more, I'll give you a freebie there since you got 10 already in. 15, you pick me or Jeremy for the shot. 50, slap me as much as you want. Jeremy's offered 2 free slaps today.
Yeah.
2.
So
it will also bring back our $69 Super Chat shot.
The first 2 $50 Super Chats, I guess I'll let Tom slap me. Like I said, I'm not that worried.
I owe 1, 2, 3, 4 beers away if you want to talk, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm not that worried because it'll be a Cowboys fan that's slapping me. So I know it's not going to be that hard. So the first 2, I'll give you all for 50. And then once we hit 500 total, I'll let Tom slap me again. But like I said, it's going to be a rough one for y'all.
I picked the Will Smith slap, by the way, because if we get to 500, I'm going to slap you so hard. So hard. Yeah. So Super Chat menu, $1 for shout out, 5 beer cheers, 15 shot, 50 to slap Jeremy. And man, I'd love to slap you. I might slap you off air anyway. That might get me in trouble, but we'll see.
Get your questions in.
We'll see. So 2 ways. If you have questions, get them in using hashtag Cowboys. If you're not going to super chat, but Just the King, Dwayne Porter, Kenneth Easley, Andres Gonzalez, Will Marshall. I see you guys. What are you laughing about now?
Look at the chat.
Yeah. Mr. Fire, I'll give 100 by myself for a closed fist slap. You down?
Yeah.
All right.
If he's able to put it in. He's a Cowboys fan. I know morale is low. Pockets are low right now.
Morale is low, and the beatings will continue until morale improves.
Hey, you got to get your 100 in before we start the Q&A cut, or else it's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, get it in there. Use hashtag Cowboys. Super chat, skip the line altogether. We'll get set up here for this opening Q&A. It is a safe space. You get set up for the Q&A. I'm going to start punching you. It's a safe space. Vent however you want. Whether it's negative, positive, we might not agree. I will be respectful, unlike Jeremy, I promise you. So again,
I'm being respectful.
You're not doing respectful. You've got an accent going on that's like very disingenuous, and I don't care for it. To be clear,
what accent?
You know exactly.
I have no idea what you're
you know
talking
exactly
about.
what you're doing. It's like you're talking to Sadie out there.
I have no idea.
All right, let's get going here. You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile. They are changing the game when it comes to cell phone plan coverage with plans starting at $15 a month. Start saving some money today at mintmobile.com/chatsports. It's the type of savings you want, as opposed to, the savings that Catboy likes. It's event session today. I know it because we're filming this on Monday after the Cowboys disaster week 1. I will be respectful, I promise you. Super chat, $5 from Will Marshall. As mad as I want to be, really can't, because all of this salt's coming except Jerry and Catboy. No one is scared of our receivers. O-line is a mash unit. Every time Will super chats, I feel like I agree with him, and I agree again. This was our nightmare, our concern, our fear, right? That the Cowboys would not be good on the offensive line because of all the replacements there, that they would not be good at the receiving core. That's the concern to me, that this Cowboys overall roster took a significant step back, and they absolutely did. And that's a huge concern for me, and it came true in one game, and now it's even worse because you had more injuries. From Just the King, $2 from Jen. I think Huntley could be a good short-term option. I'm assuming Tyler Huntley, the Ravens quarterback. Is he, though? He's a good athlete, and that gives him a nice floor as a backup quarterback. He's not a starter. He wasn't that good for the Ravens. I know ESPN pitched him. I would feel great if he's your backup quarterback overall, but he's not going to be a great starter for you. By the time he gets into the offense and learns it, now you're 3 games in. I am of this mindset. There is no quarterback out there, even though Huntley is better than Cooper Rush and Will Grier and whoever else you go out and consider adding, or in most cases, anyone else out there. There's no quarterback that drastically changes your playoff chances, maybe even improves them at all, because your entire offense is bad. You were bad with a top 10 quarterback at Dak Prescott, who played terrible, to be clear, in week 1. It's not going to get any better just by changing out for a lesser QB. $10, Dwayne Porter. I had us 9-8 without Dak, or with Dak. Without Dak, 3-14. Unless we score points, defense will get exposed against the run game. The Joneses are getting what they paid for. Thanks, Catboy. I agree with a lot of this here. I had him at 10 wins with Dak, and they looked pretty bad in week 1 and made me worried about it overall. Depending on when comes Dak, maybe Dak comes back. Maybe you can win 5, go on a little late season run and hurt your draft stock. But I don't have any faith in this offense without Cooper Rush. I don't. I am very concerned about them. I don't think they're going to be good enough. Rush can do a little bit of game managing stuff, but your guys weren't getting open in week 1. Gallup coming back will help that. If the supporting cast plays better, the results will be better. But I got no faith in this offense right now, unless Cooper Rush magic is actually a thing. So predict the Cowboys record for me. Overall season, knowing Dak's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere in that range, what will be the Cowboys record? This is the pinned comment on today's show. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Kenneth Easley, how does this situation in 2018 differ from now when Dallas traded for Amari? Does it? I don't know if it does. There's your receiving core. You're going to get back Gallup. And Lamb and Gallup is better than what you had. But I think a big difference is you were trying to figure out how good your quarterback was. I think you know how good he is. You're now worried about the availability of your quarterback long term. I think that is for me, it's a huge red flag. And you love Jason Garrett. You don't love Mike McCarthy as a head coach. Andres Gonzalez, another super chat. Trade for Lockett. That would help, but I am not I'm not trying to get assets right now. They're like player assets. If I'm doing anything, I'm selling. I'm not trying to trade away a second or a third round pick for a great receiver. Don't get me wrong. Lockett's awesome, but it's not going to fix everything. There's too much wrong right now with your offense. There's no such thing as a one-player fix. I mean, even like Mahomes might fix it, but like even then, you still are maybe going to win 10 games because your supporting cast on offense is terrible. Jeremy Gray, what is the maximum number of games with Cooper Rush and/or an outside quarterback you think the Cowboys can win? I think is what you mean. Look, the 6 to 8 weeks is how much Dak's going to miss. I think you're looking at maybe, if you're lucky, 2 or 3. Like, best case scenario, I think you're at 500 into the bye, and that's 4 wins? No way. Bengals, Giants, Commanders, Rams, Eagles, Lions, Bears. All those teams look better than you did in week 1. Low bar to clear, I know. But I think you're going to win 2 or 3. And now you're 2-6. That's not going to get it done. It's really not. Now, what does get it done is Mint Mobile. Unlimited talk and text, high-speed data for plans starting as low as $15 a month. They run, by the way, on the largest 5G network. If you have not made the switch, now is the time. It's saving money in the good way. Unlike the Cowboys front office. Unlimited premium wireless with plans starting at $15 a month. MintMobile.com/chatsports. The link's in the comments section and in the description. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Mark of Spain. Peeps call me a hater. It's a $10 super chat, by the way. One player was equal to the hype. That was Micah Parsons. Tolbert can't beat out a lame Noah. Didn't hear Sam, Osa, Fowler, Neville, or Vanilla Gorilla's name once. Hype. I'll go player by player here. Obviously, Parsons was awesome. Sam Williams played 6 sacks. Osa, I actually thought 6 snaps. Thank you. I thought Osa played pretty well on the interior. He had a couple nice run stops, and a couple pressures overall. I thought he was fine. Not great, but if he's like your number 3 lineman with Parsons and Tank, you should be okay-ish. Neville Gallimore didn't really do all that much. Dante Fowler, he was silent. He played 10 snaps. Terrell Basham out before he got hurt. John Ridgway wasn't active, and Tolbert wasn't active. Tolbert couldn't be a rookie UDFA. To have your second and third round picks play 6 snaps total in week 1 at obvious positions of need because you took them in the second and third round, that's bad. Jeff Bledsoe, need receiver help, O-line help, and at least short-term quarterback help to see him doing anything. I don't know. Honestly, I'm fine if they don't. Because here's my mindset. Maybe this is crazy, but I'll make the pitch anyway. If you are worried about your depth at receiver, at quarterback, and offensive line, then do something about it. Specifically at QB, there's 2 ways to handle it. Either have a good backup in place or just don't care because if your starter goes down, you're screwed anyway. So I think the worst thing this team could do is say like, yeah, we thought the backup quarterback spot was bad, but we didn't do anything to fix it until it was too late. That's the worst case thing you can do. So, look, I don't have any faith in Rush. The receiver help is bad. The O-line depth is bad. We knew all of those things. So if you want to make changes now, you're kind of too late. You missed your boat in the offseason when you actively chose to make your roster worse. And that's why when I'm putting blame, there's been one constant for 25-plus years with this franchise. And the last name of that is Jones. Jerry and Steven now. They made this team worse. And they made their bed. The receiving core lost talent. The O-line lost talent. They did not support a franchise like any other organization does. When you're paying a quarterback big money, you put pieces around him. They're like, we'll see what happens. Now they are reaping what they sowed. And it's bad results, and it's injuries, and it's not good. Now, if you have not already, hit that big red button. We will, it's a tricky transition there. We'll be here all year long. Good and bad, I will vent with you. We all want the same thing, actual wins. But I don't trust it. Hit that big red button, subscribe. Free videos every single day. Maddox Bats. Think the Cowboys will rush Dak back? Probably, yeah. That would not surprise me if they try to rush him back from injury, and it's going to be a can you grip the football thing. We'll see, and that could lead to even more errant throws if the thumb strength isn't quite right. Mark Havis Spain, again a $5 super. Our middle D was facing 3 backups, still could not dominate. Our backup tackles are so bad, we needed to get Peters. All this cap space. JJ is a clown. Shaq Mason's a starter and was going to be a starter for them, but yeah, the rest were backups. They have some pretty big injury stuff going on there. Again, the Bucs game plan was so much better than Dallas's. Now, they weren't, shooting themselves in the foot on 1st and 10. Now it's 1st and 15 because your right tackle's a spaz and can't not false start because the penalties are a problem, Mike. But they ran the ball really effectively. Quick, easy passes. How many times was there a easy throw for Brady versus how many easy throws were there for Dak? You're running these deeper routes. You're asking your receivers to get open or make super tight window throws. Run a pick play one damn time. Run mesh once. It's apparently not in the playbook, and I don't know why. It's easy stuff to get the ball to your playmaker, CeeDee Lamb, and see if good things happen. Just doesn't exist, apparently. Jeremiah Early. This mess was the Joneses' choice. We had the entire offseason, and again, they chose not to get talent. Better not waste draft picks now. Wild card? But why? To lose first round again? Just get good picks. I don't know if you can get there. Look, we'll see how I am hoping the offense looks better in week 2. I have no confidence there, but you could have 2 wins. Like, honestly, if you're really bad when Dak is cleared to come back, just sit him. Just tank. Say there was a complication or whatever, which you maybe don't want to do, but, say you just want to get him healthy, you're not worried about it, and tank. Like, you are in a real spot where after the bye, you could be out of the race already. If that's the case, embrace it. Gamer mode. I say trade for DK. Help your backup win more games. Then Dak comes back making a run. Sounds super smarter than what Jerry's been. Well, you're not wrong in the last part. The Seahawks just paid DK Metcalf, so you're not getting him. If there's a Seahawks receiver out there, it's Lockett. But DK Metcalf is not available via trade. Rob John, what do you think our continued penalty problem says about McCarthy's ability to control the team? So there are 2 arguments. There are 2 mindsets. One is that penalties are reflective of your coaching. And there's also an argument that, and it's obviously massively different opinions, it's that it's not the coach's fault if the player made a mistake. And I don't agree with that last part. I think it is a coaching problem. Because when it is systemic, when it is special teams, offense, and defense, that is a sign to me it's a coaching problem. Either you're undisciplined, whatever you're doing, Mike, is not fixing your rampant penalty problem. You had 10 again last night. That's not good. And you had a bunch of false starts. It's not like it's, a questionable holding call. It was just you messed up again. It's a problem every single week for this Cowboys team. It continues to be a significant problem from that standpoint. It's a huge issue. And you know what? If it is your players, then stop playing them. Like, this is not good. It's got to get fixed. So, bully the Cowboys into fewer flags for me by typing in flags. Is it going to work? I have no idea. But everyone who types flags, I'm going to show you some love in the comment section because I believe it is a Cowboys problem. We can blame the refs if we want. It's got to stop. I've been bullied today on my own show. Now we're going to bully the Cowboys as well. Jeremiah Early again, $5. Thank you, my friend. $20 million in salary cap, and we didn't spend it. You get what you pay for. All we got is penalties again. Thank you, Jones, for a consistent 30 years. Look, you're not wrong, Jeremiah. You're not wrong. You had a bunch of money, didn't want to spend it, and you're paying the price for a lesser roster. The team got worse. Of course, the results are worse. That was our fear going in. We were really drinking Kool-Aid thinking Noah Brown, Kellen Moore, Dak's going to be a top 5 QB every week because if you have he has to pick a top 5 QB to have a chance. That's asking a lot week in and week out. Plain and simple. Mateo Meza, chances of McCarthy being coach next year. I don't know. All year leading up to week 1, I'd said he's on the hot seat. If they miss the playoffs, he's gone unless there's a devastating injury. Here's your devastating injury. I don't think they'll fire him before the end of the year, at least maybe until you're officially out of playoff race. But I have no faith in Mike McCarthy because he made a big deal. We're going to fix the penalties. We've had 3 preseason games and a real one. Have the penalty issues been fixed? No. Did you come out with problems again in week 1? Yeah. Have you made any offensive adjustments? No. Come on, Mike. Buck stops with you because we can't fire the owner, sadly. I don't think he's going to be here. Frankly, I don't want him here. A rare $8 super chat from Kenneth Easley. What is the difference between Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette in the AFC Championship game or Blake Bortles and Ezekiel Elliott right now? The Jags got lucky. Like, they had a great defense that carried them. They won some games. They had decent coaching. Honestly, it was a fluke year. Like, the difference is look at everything else Blake Bortles did. That's the difference. He's done nothing, and even that one year he kind of got bailed out by actually decent offensive line and a lot of luck involved. The difference is Bortles is not good. That's the difference. Jerome Nichols, race the number 1 pick, flip it for multiple draft picks, offensive line and wide receiver. So I don't mind if you end up tanking. And I think if you have the number 1 overall pick, or if you're drafting top 3, top 4, whatever, all options should be on the table. You should consider taking an edge rusher, taking an offensive lineman, taking a receiver if there's good ones, but maybe not top 3, whatever, taking that Jalen Carter, Will Anderson kid. And you should consider taking a quarterback because it's been 3 years now, and Dak has had 4 noteworthy injuries that have cost him significant time. Cowboys might not say he's injury prone. How can we not be worried about that? He's great when he's out there. Obviously, played like shit week 1. I get that. But overall sample size, he's been great. It's the Romo situation all over again. You got this great QB. Your supporting cast fails them. The Joneses are your owners. But now the body is having issues. I don't know if I trust him to stay healthy. And if I don't, I owe it to myself to consider going with a quarterback early. And remember, guys, that's me saying it. Jeremiah Early, again, a $5 super. My fear is Dak comes back and they try to win. Get us close 500 in a mid-first round pick. That does nothing the same that the year Dak was out. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you win a couple games without Dak. Once Dak comes back, there's a lot more easy, more winnable games on the schedule. It was always kind of a front-loaded, challenging schedule. You could come back and go, 5-2, whatever, with Dak healthy. 4-3. That's very doable. It's not going to make you a playoff team unless you get the Cooper Rush magic again, but it might cost you a draft pick. That's a concern for me. Now, if you have more Cowboys venting sessions, whatever, hit me up on Twitter at @whatgoingdowney. My DMs are open, which I've regretted so far, but any and all questions, I've got you guys covered over there. All right, how you guys feeling right now? Did the venting session help? B, S, or D? There are more supers, by the way, from Mark and Jay Elam and Tyler and another one from Mark and Boss Fan Matt. I see your supers. We'll get to those again during the second mailbag. I owe a bunch of beer cheers, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And we both owe shots for 69 in supers.
Hey.
And if it gets to 169, we'll do another shot. Not that far away. Going back to the Patron.
And it's great.
Tastes even worse
to
today.
be alive, the sun's still shining when I close my eyes.
I owe a lot of beer cheers, so why don't you just why don't you get some shout outs here?
It's a heartbreak in the neighborhood, but why can't every day feel just this good?
I feel bullied, and I don't approve of this. I don't approve.
All right, let's see how people are feeling in the chat. Mark is in shambles. Early Carter, he's devastated. Let's see. Gwerks is all three, B, S, and D. Alumni 3531. Yo, Jeremy, take off that nasty shirt. Why don't you come over here and take it off for me? Nate Rosario, get Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Yeah, that would be a great plan. If y'all could get Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Just do it.
That would be awesome.
What if we get Mahomes and Allen?
Bass Man, he's got that big old bass. He said, I can't stand Jerome. I don't know who that is. It's weird.
Oh, Jeremy. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't like
God.
him either. They stick with me to keep me to bully me
And
here.
it's a great day to be alive. You know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. It's a heartbreaking.
I don't have any more beer,
neighborhood.
Chizzo. I'm just gonna finish this one.
Why can't every day be just this good? Who else is having a good day today?
I'm not. I'm having a bad day. I've had a bad couple days. All right.
That's a good one, Mark.
Then Mark did get you pretty good there. You want to throw that one up?
Yeah, we can throw
That's
that
pretty
one
good.
out.
I like that one. Like, it's a good one for Mark. Mark had a $2 super chat. Says, Jeremy, now I know how an Eagles fan feels. LOL.
Oh, wow.
I will say I walked in this morning and shook Jeremy's hand and said congrats on the NFC East title.
You know, Mark, Tom, I know we're a little
Which
bit on
maybe
the...
is a good thing in the end because Hurts ain't the
me
guy.
and Tom are a little bit on the younger side. Me and Chase both know how great a Super Bowl feels. Tom, how good does a Super Bowl feel?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't
Oh, that's
remember.
weird. That is crazy.
Say what, we really walked in that one, Mark. That's on me.
Now
That's on me. Just like when I said last night, you gotta put Diggs on Mike Evans, and then they immediately threw it to Mike Evans in a red zone fade, and he made a great catch over Diggs. Just immediately. That one was on me.
Oh, God.
All right, there have been a lot of questions obviously today about replacements. I've seen them all the time in the comment section, and I get it. So in a minute here, we're going to start with some Dak replacements. A reminder of our Super Chat menu. $1 is a shout-out. $5, it's beer cheers. I don't know if the number was right, but I just finished my beer to make it even. 15, it's a shot. Individual 15, no one's got it yet. You can pick me or Jeremy to do the shot there. 50, slap Jeremy for the first two. Then it's me.
You know what, Tom? I'll be generous.
Oh, you're gonna change something here?
I'm gonna change some stuff up.
I'm out of the sheets if you need to make changes. But
Okay. I'll be generous.
we can hit them. We can hit the changes after the segment. How about that? How about that?
How about that?
500 total, and I will slap Jeremy. And as you can tell maybe by the photo, it is the Will Smith Chris Rock slap. I'm gonna slap him hard, real hard. Serial killer goes, who drinks beer during the day? Cowboys fans. Also alcoholics. Sometimes that overlaps. Also people who like to have a good time.
Oh, here I have the.
It's my mindset.
I have the updated for you here in just a moment.
Okay.
Should update in 3, 2, Dropbox.
You say, nice try. All right. We'll see what that is here in a minute. Jeremy's hyping a big game, and it won't sing for him. Can't quite finish Hut Chugs.
I can't get it up.
Yeah, okay. There you go. I see how it is.
Oh, there we go.
There's a pill for that,
That's not a good picture, but.
That's fine. I can kind of see what you're going for there. 50 to slap me or Jeremy. 500 total, and I'll kick you. All right. I like that, Jeremy. I've kicked you before. It hurt a little bit for you, I believe.
Hey, Bassman's talking that big game, but I gave y'all an option. If you want to hit me, if you want to do it, I know Cowboys fans are down bad. Your pockets are down bad right now, and I get it. I get it. It's a tough life to be a Cowboys fan. So I'm giving you an option to kind of get your frustrations out. If you can send in a 50 Bassman. I know it's hard times here in Dallas right now.
I really hate you. I really do. All right, that's the changed Super Chat menu here. We'll get set up now for our segment of the day, or the next part of today's show, the Dak Prescott replacements. And this is short term, by the way. The long term is a different conversation for a different day which we will have. Sure, that's fine. We'll have some fun with it. So, stick around. Super chat menu right there. $1 shout out, $5 beer cheers, 15 shot, 50 to slap me or Jeremy, 500 total to kick Jeremy. The Cowboys report is going through it because I'm down bad, and I know many of you are as well. It's a safe space here to vent your Cowboys frustrations because it's bad. Quarterback's hurt again. Season is one game in, and it's already on the brink. It's not great. We'll have free videos every single day, season and off season, right here, youtube.com/CowboysTV. All right, let's talk Dak Prescott replacements. And we're talking short term. The hypothetical long-term scenario, we'll have that conversation on a different day. Right now, though, how do you replace Dak Prescott in the 6 to 8 weeks that he is out? It is a fracture of the thumb, reportedly. You know how the Cowboys are. Dak underwent surgery on Monday. He will need surgery to fix that issue, so he's going to get it. The Cowboys overall, my friends, are not in great shape at quarterback. It's on the roster, technically speaking, is nobody. Cooper Rush and Mike McCarthy are on the practice squad with Will Grier. Rush and Grier on the practice squad. You'll promote Rush, I would assume, to your active roster, and he's your favorite to start because there is that one game of Cooper Rush magic. I have no idea how they won it. A big part of it was a great play by Amari Cooper, who is no longer there. He also had a bad preseason. He doesn't have the arm strength that you want. Will Grier's got more talent, but in a very limited career sample size, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It's not great. Neither guy truly deep down inspires confidence in the quarterback room when the offense is already really, really bad with Dak Prescott, who by far is the best quarterback you've had available to you in free agency or whatever trade options out there right now. It's by far Dak. He's top 10. There's no top 10 QB just sitting out there. Now, of your practice squad QB options, you're going to start one of these guys in week 2. Who would it be? Type in WG for Will Grier or type in CR for Cooper Rush. Let me know who you'd rather start in the comment section. Now, that's more your internal options, right? You got Grier, you've got Rush, and that's it. Externally, you can look trade, you can look free agency, you can look practice squad, and as we'll get into in a little bit, you can also look crazy person in a little bit. I'll explain that. The big name out there is Jimmy Garoppolo. And I continue to come back to the exact same point that I had a while ago. I was worried about Dak getting hurt because he got hurt 2 years in a row. Got hurt again. The options out there do not change your playoff outlook. Jimmy G has a no-trade clause, $7 million salary. It's affordable if you want to, pay $7 million for your backup, which is fine. But your offense was bad. Your O-line was poor, especially in pass. They're fine run blocking, bad pass protection performance. Your receiving core is CeeDee Lamb didn't show up in game 1. He had a drop and they didn't get the ball to him. Jimmy G's a bus driver, and a very good bus driver at that. But if you add Jimmy Garoppolo, and who is the best QB available, so we're clear, if you add Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, on the next 6 to 8 games, 7 games since the bye, how many are you winning? Maybe 2 or 3. So at that point, 2-6. Why would you trade assets to not make the playoffs? That's not the route I want to go. Jimmy G unquestionably is better than Rush, but your entire offense was such a disjointed dumpster fire that he's not going to come in and fix it. It ain't going to get any better, even if the supporting cast plays better, which I think will lead to more points, obviously, but he ain't saving your season. Remember, we tried this, right? With the name we'll get to in a minute. But first, I want your opinion. How do you want to get QB help? Because you got to pick one of these. T for go trade for someone, F for free agency, or P for practice squad. And that's just promote Rush and Grier and say, is what it is. It's the pinned comment on today's show. If the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, TF or P. Let's talk more trade targets. Andy Dalton. Of your trade ones, it's a bit sensible because he knows the offense. He was here in Dallas. Here's my problem. It's the same thing we went through a couple years ago, right? Supporting cast ain't that great. I'd argue it was better than what you have now, though, because all your guys are hurt, etc. Dalton was not great for Dallas. Was he a fine backup? Yes. Does he actually win you enough games that when Dak comes back in 6 to 8 weeks, you can hold out playoff hope? I don't think so. Like, Dalton was bad in Chicago the last time we saw him with a bad supporting cast. Like, Dalton, he knows the offense. There's some value there, but he doesn't make sense to me as a viable, okay, he's going to be our starter and we're going to be fine. All of your options in reality out there right now are the equivalent of putting a Band-Aid over a gaping, your arm's been cut off wound. Like, you got all these problems. The Band-Aid isn't going to fix it. It's not going to solve your problems. Dalton is in that bucket. Tyler Huntley next up here. Some of you have suggested him. Had some success with the Ravens. Not a great thrower of the football. He's a good athlete. If he's your backup, I think you might have a better chance at winning an extra game, maybe. But again, you're not going to be a playoff team with Huntley at quarterback. He's better than Cooper Rush, obviously. I think we could all agree on that front, outside of maybe the few Rush stands that are still out there somehow. But you're not changing your outlook. So all these names, it's the common thread for me. They're better. Do they move the needle? I don't think so. Teddy Bridgewater, next up here. What could you give up for one of these QBs? Maybe a fifth, if you're lucky? Do you want to be trading away assets for QBs that we know ain't it? Teddy Bridgewater's had his chances. He has. He's been fine, you know? He'll put up good accuracy. He won't push the ball downfield. Do you trust Kellen Moore to scheme short, quick passes up? Didn't do it last night, Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. Didn't happen. So you can call if you want. By the time you go trade for someone out of your organization, you're probably 2 or 3 weeks in. Does that fix it at all? The answer is no. Today's show is made possible by BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125 gets you a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100. At the beginning of the offseason, Dallas and Philly were neck and neck for the betting favorites. Drastic change due to bad offensive play and your quarterback getting hurt. Honestly, Philly at -155 feels like a great bet. I'm going to punch you in the face, Jeremy. We got the $50 super. You're getting slapped so hard. Cowboys +450. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. It's a sucker bet. You might be really bad the next month and a half to 2 months here. Eagles make sense. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. 2 Colts QBs. Nick Foles, Sam Ehlinger. Ehlinger is somewhat appealing to me because unlike guys like Bridgewater and Dalton, he could in theory be your backup for more than just 1 year. He's pretty young. But again, doesn't that mean the Colts want to hold on to him? Foles, we know what Nick Foles is. Nobody wanted him in Chicago. Nobody wanted him. No one wanted him after the Bears cut him. Colts took him up super cheap. He's just a Jag. All these guys are Jags. Gardner Minshew is next up here. Jeremy was like a 3rd-round pick for Gardner Minshew. No. Gardner Minshew got dealt very cheaply from Jacksonville to Philly because he's not actually that good. Gardner Minshew in week 1, or in his first start of the year, I should say, is a top 3 NFL QB of all time. 87.1% completion rate, nearly 10 yards per attempt, 7 TDs, 1 interception. He's 2-1. Wins don't matter. Beyond that, he's been mid. 61.1% through the air, 6.7 yards per attempt. That's bad. 34 touchdowns, 11 INTs, and 24 starts. That's barely, it's not even a touchdown and a half per game. He's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love the mullet. He's an entertainer. It's all good. He's been a blast. But he's not actually a viable option to start football games for you. Next up is Mason Rudolph for the Steelers. See this name floated out there? He's bad. I don't know what to tell you. We've seen a lot of Mason Rudolph getting chances in Pittsburgh. He's had quite a few starts in his career. I mean, how many games do you win with this? How many games are you going to win with your quarterback throwing 61.5% for very few yards and a 16-11 interception ratio? 1, 2, if that, doesn't fit for me. Those are your trade options. Free agent options coming up next here. So name a QB you want to add to the roster. Maybe there's a free agent out there. Maybe there is a trade idea you think. I will say this. You got to be realistic here because Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, Brady, whatever, that ain't going to happen. It's fun, but even Madden won't let you do that one. Let's talk free agents now. This is a rough group. One big name we'll get to here in a minute. Mike Glennon, first up here. His neck is long. That's my analysis. Is Glennon. Now, Brett Hundley has some ties to the Cowboys organization, and I know some people were like, he's good. He's not. He's had chances in the NFL. The Cowboys brought him in for a workout, I think a year and a half ago, and they were like, nah, this ain't it. No. It doesn't move the needle for me. Logan Woodside, a practice squad option. Okay. Is he good? No. Josh Johnson, this one's fun, if only because he gets one more team on his list. So of the options, I actually vote Josh Johnson because that'd be like, hey, new team, it's a fun story, whatever. Here's a name we all know, Garrett Gilbert. Here's your problem. This Cowboys staff, this regime said, we don't like him. Cooper Rush is better. Now, I know many of us did not agree with that, but they made that choice. So he knows the offense. I actually don't mind. I think it's the most realistic of this 5, but it ain't your starter. Ain't going to fix anything for you. It's just an arm in case you get a 2020 level of, oh my God, we have no more QBs. All right, big name, Cam Newton. I think of the free agent QBs, he's probably your best one. Here's the problem. He is a shell of his former self. That shoulder injury he suffered, it's not good. Look at his last 2 years of play. Like, that's just bad. That's bad. He's just not that guy anymore. Was once awesome. Don't get me wrong. But that's just not going to work out at all. So, 2 years ago, Cam Newton, sure. Now, no. How about Nucci Maine? Nucci. Gucci Nucci. Big you-know-what DiNucci. This makes a lot of sense because you got to add somebody to your practice squad. I would bet you sign Ben DiNucci to your practice squad. And I am actually totally on board with that because he knows the offense. You want someone to help throw some passes in practice as needed. He actually played pretty well in the preseason. I don't mind it. He doesn't help you at all win games, but he at least gives you a potential entertaining option. Now, I would be lying to you if I didn't know who you guys were going to try to throw in here in the comments. I've already seen it watching live. Shout out John Kinnan. That'd be hilarious. I've got 3. Let's be serious, guys. Come on. Let's not. If you're joking, it's cool. If you're serious, please seek help. Tony Romo. Not a chance in hell. Romo is 42 years old, a back that prevents him from golfing the way he wants to, and hasn't played since 2016, has the best job ever. There is no way you would want Romo out there. So I know there are and still are the Romo truthers, the Romo deniers, whatever route you go. Put him in the Ring of Honor. That's fine. He is not fixing anything for you on offense, and he's just going to end up getting hurt. I'm sorry. Drew Brees is next up here. You go, oh, Drew Brees, Sean Payton, right? Nah. 43 years old. Had shoulder surgery, by the way, in May. And the last time we saw Drew Brees, it's about shell of your former self. It wasn't pretty. He could not push the ball downfield at all. Drew Brees and Sean Payton, kind of like late career Peyton Manning, could make it work. Drew Brees and Kellen Moore, I have no faith in that one. Finally, Colin Kaepernick. He has not played football since 2016, and he wasn't even a good starter that year. Now, to be clear, I think Kaepernick got screwed by the NFL. It was a joke that they blackballed him and blacklisted him and prevented him from playing in the NFL. It has been 5 years, actually 7 years basically now, wow, 6 years, math, that since he hasn't played football. The answer is no. He's not good. If you bring in Kaepernick, it is only for the media attention. Anyone seriously suggesting in 2022, the year of our Lord, that Colin Kaepernick is a viable option does not make any sense. So Kaepernick, not on that list. It's not a serious suggestion at all. Now, if you have other names, you can throw them in there for me in the comments. I saw someone mention Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not healthy. That hip's all messed up. Great, not serious name, Johnny Manziel. We bring you fun and real actual analysis here at the Cowboys Report. Hit that big red button and subscribe. All right, mailbag coming up. I owe a shot for 169. And shout out Jay Elam, who says, slap him hard as F-Tom. I've been thinking about this, Jeremy.
So, Tom.
I'm going to get my hand warmed up
Tom,
here.
I'm going back to my old prediction. 10-6-1. You would take that
I'd
now.
be so happy if you went 10-6. I'd be thrilled. Now, I hate ties. They're un-American. I'd be pissed that week. But I love everything else.
Oh, God.
I'm just getting my hand warmed up here.
Getting warmed. I'll pull up the super chat.
I'm getting warmed up here. Shout out Jay Elam. Slap him hard as F-Tom. Getting warmed up here. Thinking about going ring hand. Ring hand?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Like I said, I'm not too worried because it's a Cowboys fan that's slapping me. Mm-hmm. So I know it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. But here's the super chat from Jay Elam.
There you go. Want to come on up here, Jeremy?
Sure.
Go full screen?
Yep.
There you go. Richard's comment got blocked because that's not good, but yeah. Gonna do it here. Yeah. You ready for this? He said slap you hard as F, so Jeremy, I'm going to. All right? This is your warning. Come on up here. Come on up here. Come on up here. Make sure you're nice and center. Come on up here. You got to get on screen. Come on, get on. Flinching already. Look at this flincher.
Oh.
That was a good one. That was actually a good clean contact, too. Thank you, Jay Elam. That's taking out some frustration. That felt good.
That felt like 25 years of frustration just let out in one slap.
I'm not going to lie, your face is a little red. That cheek's a little bit red for you, Chucks.
I usually only let my girl slap me like that.
Bonk, I think. I owe a shot for 169 in supers. If someone can grab me a new beer, I do owe a bunch of beer cheers as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
Tom, I'm not gonna even lie.
Yeah.
My face is a little warm.
Yeah. That's why I was warming it up. Makes for better contact.
Oh,
there you
God.
go. Better contact there.
For people who are just now getting on here.
The super chat menu. $1 for a shout out. $5 for beer cheers. $15 for a shot. You guys pick who does the shot, by the way. $50 to slap me or Jeremy. Jeremy said he'd do 2. And then it's 500 total, which we're halfway there for. So I owe a shot. We hit 169 in supers.
Oh, I'll do a shot too.
And now we are 11 away. Or
fly,
math,
Eagles,
20
fly,
away.
On the road to victory.
I'm gonna bully you.
Fight,
how do I mute your mic? Which one are you? I'll mute you.
Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high.
All right, let me get caught up here. I owe beer cheers for Jay Tyler.
And watch those Eagles
Boss man,
fly.
fat 1, 2, 3,
fly,
4,
Eagles
5,
fly.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I owe 14 beer cheers. So let's do this then. All right.
People are saying die Eagles die. I don't know why.
Yeah, that song does sound weird. No, you're right.
Oh God. There we go. Down the hatch.
Nice. All right, back to this one.
Tom,
we got 2 beers here.
I'm sorry. We lost. I think we lost like 60 viewers by me singing that song.
That's bad for business, Jeremy.
Happens.
All right. Wow, wrong pipe. Hold on. Give me a sec. I went down the wrong pipe. That hurt. That burned. All right. It's mailbag time. Man, that really went down the wrong pipe. How embarrassing. First time drinking beer, I guess. 2 ways to get on. At this point, it's one way. It's super chats. There's a lot of super chats we're going to get through, so get them in. We'll answer them here on the mailbag to wrap up today's live show.
And, after, if anybody, I mean, like I said, Cowboys Nation, I know y'all are down bad. Not a lot of hope right now, not a lot in your pocket. So if a $50 does come in, we'll do it after the cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I know it's gonna be a rough year.
I hate you so much, Jeremy. All right, let's do it. You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Today's show is a mailbag answering your super chats as they came in on today's live show. There are a lot of them, so we'll get into it. It is a safe space, by the way. All right, Mark Hobbespain. Imagine what Jimmy would do with the flags, LOL. If this team had a good Jimmy Johnson, not like, current Jimmy Johnson, be a different conversation. Jay Elam, tank the season, full rebuild everywhere. I'm fine with it, but your head coach isn't. Because your head coach knows he's going to get fired if you do that. So that's your philosophical problem right now, which is you set yourself up for this because you didn't go aggressively with your head coach in terms of making your roster better, and now you're like, well, shoot, what do we do? Problem. Tyler Grinder, can we afford Sue, Mims, and a lineman to shore things up until Dak is back? I mean, yes, you can if you want to, but let's say you add Ndamukong Suh, Denzel Mims, and Darrell Williams to your offensive line. You get those 3 guys. How many games you win in the next 5 or 6? Isn't it still 2 or 3? I don't think it's enough to save your season. I don't think there are any outside of just wild bonkers trade your first round pick and more moves I don't want to do that can save your season right now. That is how low I am right now on the staff, this regime, this front office, and this offense. Mark Hobbespain, time for GM. Put it to a vote. Yes or no? Mark's a yes. You guys can vote. Y for yes and for no. I vote yes. 10 years, I'll win. If not, I'll step away. It's that simple. Boss fan Matt, one word, predictable. Looked the same before Coop and after. Dak and receivers and coaches combo doesn't work versus decent teams. I mean, you don't have a quarterback who's going to, be top 3 every week, even top 5 every week. There are very few that are. Your receivers weren't getting open, and your coaching staff didn't make life easy on your quarterback. You have all these offensive minds, McCarthy, Kellen, Philbin, Nussmeier. What are you doing? You are not making life easy on your QB. That's the whole point of being a coach. You didn't do it right. For Mark, Dak's injury is JJ's excuse to keep Mike and Moore. I would hate that. I know that there's the injury excuse. If you just roll it back again next year with Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, we're going to have no faith in this franchise, even less than we have somehow. Maybe we haven't hit rock bottom quite yet. Like, just rolling it back, unless they surprise everyone and win 5 games with Dak out and make a playoff run, no, don't. Move on. He's had chances. It hasn't looked good. The penalty problem is not fixed. That's a huge problem for me. So you guys be Jerry Jones. FM to fire Mike McCarthy or KM to keep Mike McCarthy. It's the pinned comment on today's show. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, FM or KM. Boss fan Matt, replenishing next year, including coaches, as it did last year with D. Is it obvious? I hope that's what they'll do, but, you drafted two offensive players this year, and one of them wasn't active. So, hope you add some more offensive talent. Also, why'd you actively make yourself worse? Didn't have to. By the way, you played really well in week 1. Everyone's favorite lineman, Connor Williams, played really well week 1. All right, Mark Hobbespain. I'm 52, Jeremy. LL, I remember. Hats off, your team played great. At least your team made an effort to improve. Much aloha. He is right. The Eagles tried. Eagles did everything to see, can Jalen Hurts be our guy? You throw money and picks at A.J. Brown. You add all this great talent. The Cowboys were like, let's get worse and see if we're better. Come on. Kenneth Easley says, Drew Brees, LOL. He threw the LOL in. I know he's kidding. It's all good, Kenneth. We hit that on our Dak replacement at the end of that video. If you didn't watch it, please do. I'll link it in the comment section, in the description. It's an LOL. No. It's fun. It's funny. That'll amp up the Sean Payton rumors. But nah, they ain't going to do that. From Mark, the question is, what quarterback out there can learn the offense and be more effective than Cooper, who knows the system inside and out? I think you could find one. I think Jimmy G can learn it quickly. I think Dalton could learn it quickly because he's kind of been in there. I think those guys can be better than Rush, but how much better are they going to be? Is that going to be hey, we won 3 games, we're a game under 500? That's your best case scenario. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you win 2 or 3 max with Dak out and the way that offense looked in week 1. Things have to drastically change across the board on offense if you're going to have success. Dwayne Jackson, if the season is lost by the time Dak comes back, who are the top QBs coming back or might come out in the draft? So, we're going to guys like Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, maybe a Will Levis, a Van Dyke from Miami, a Tanner McKee, and Anthony Richardson. I think you look hard at Young and Stroud. And by the way, if the season is lost and you end up with a top 5 pick, you have to consider quarterback. It's just like Romo, Wentz, Zeke year. You have to consider a QB. If they aren't there, please don't draft Bijan Robinson 4th overall this time. But you have to consider a QB because even though Dak is younger than Romo was, he's been hurt a lot. Everything should be on the table if you have a top 5 pick in this upcoming draft. Absolutely everything should be. Now, today's show is made possible by BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125 is a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100 with promo code Cowboys125 and chatsports.com/bet. The week 2 odds here. These have changed significantly. Pre-week 1, Dallas was a 1-point favorite. As of filming, it's down to 7 in favor of an 8-point swing. That is not just your quarterback. That is the team looked like trash in week 1. That's a huge swing. From that standpoint, the Bengals now a 7-point favorite. Can bet on them. I'm going to. You maybe reverse some Cooper Rush magic somehow. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. Sam Lyles. In the event we move on from McCarthy, should we move on from Dak as well? Seems like both are liabilities for the Cowboys' future. You can't, if you want to trade him and you get a high draft pick, sure, I'm fine with that. Like that's, because he can't stay healthy. Talent-wise, production-wise, Dak's been great. He has been. I know people don't think that. You can be wrong, it's fine. But we're now in a similar stage with our mindsets in that Dak has been hurt 4 times now in 3 years. He's missed time and has not played well when he came back from injuries in some of those games, especially week 1. He did it last year down the stretch. It wasn't quite right for whatever reason. The injuries terrify me. You've now got Dak 2 more years left on his deal after this year. Now, if you don't extend him or restructure him, there's a huge cap hit. It kills you. Maybe you want to have some flexibility there because you're worried about the injuries. If you end up, finishing 15th overall pick, no, just keep Dak, roll it back. Maybe you don't restructure, keep that door open now. But if you're drafting top 3, I think you have to consider it. Reset the clock. Try to see if you can figure out, is Dak going to be healthy? He's been really good when he's healthy, but now he hasn't been healthy. That's a huge concern for me. So, again, you're drafting super early in the draft. Everything should be on the table. I think you owe it to yourself as a franchise, and that's me saying this. It's me, guys. I'm a big Dak guy. To consider it. Do you think Dak Prescott is the guy on the term? Whether it's you don't like the talent or you're worried about me like me, we're worried about the injuries. Y for yes, N for no. Luis D. Garza. Would it be crazy to trade for a package of Lockett and Drew Lock? Yeah, because Drew Lock sucks. He couldn't beat out Geno Smith, my friends. I've seen Broncos fans talk themselves into Drew Lock. He's not good. He's not the answer at QB. And I don't want to move assets right now. I am not trading away any of my picks. You're not good enough on offense. You lack the talent to justify that, even for a guy like Lockett. I don't think it makes sense. Two productions. Do you think we sign a quarterback or trade for one, or stick with Rush? Maybe some both. Maybe you sign a QB to your practice squad, a Gilbert to Downey, and you start Cooper Rush. And maybe the Rush magic lives. I'm not sure about that one, though. Andres Gonzalez, Taylor Heineke, or Gardner Minshew? Who you got? Can I pass? Neither's good enough. Like, Heineke can do some decent things for you. So can Minshew. But the problem you run into is they're both very limited. And Heineke will make too many mistakes. He doesn't have the arm. Like, he's kind of a little bit too much like Rush for me. I don't know. I guess Minshew because it's fun, but, like, neither. Two productions. I bet the Cowboys will sign Gilbert, Downey, or Hundley. What do you think? I mean, three good names, Jimmy, because they have ties to your coaching staff. Gilbert has been in Dallas. Downey was in Dallas until this year. And Hundley worked with Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. Now, I would probably rank their likelihood as Downey, Gilbert, Hundley. But the staffs have also told you, we don't think these guys are it. Because they cut Gilbert to keep Rush. They cut Downey multiple times now to put him on the practice squad. And they worked out Hundley a year ago and said, no, he's not very good. So, again, your options are not good. From Mark, why waste draft capital? With Dak, we could not move the ball. How is a backup going to do? Time to tank and get high picks. Look, I agree with Mark. You could move the ball on offense with a top 10 QB who did not play like a top 10 QB. We can all be honest there. He played like trash. He was terrible. Worst game since Denver's second year, I think. He was bad. It did not go well. But supporting cast was also really bad. O-line, receivers, penalties again, coaching staff. The backups aren't going to change that. Unless the supporting cast drastically improves in a way I haven't seen in a long time, it's going to be more of the same. How's the kid? She kept me up till 3 a.m. last night. It was great. She's doing great beyond that. Dream Productions. Do you think we make a Matt Castle type of move? I kind of hope not. Like, they tried Matt Castle. It was bad. It did not work. Also from Jimmy Productions, would be happy with Anthony Gordon or RG3. Would you be happy? I liked Gordon coming out. He's been out of the NFL. So no. RG3 is a fun name. I think he's going to stick with the broadcast stuff. He's good at broadcasting. Also, big name. He hasn't been that good in recent years. Unfortunately, the Commanders, Washington, kind of ruined him from that standpoint. Now, if you want to be a part of future Cowboys mailbags, then you got to be subscribed. Hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. Jay Elam, Eagles won't take the NFC East. The Eagles, you're right. Thank you for correcting me, Jeremy. You said Eagles. I said the Giants will. I still can't get on board with Daniel Jones, so I'm still going to go with Philly. But I think the Giants might finish second, depending on how the Cowboys fare without Dak. Jay Elam, hints rebuild everywhere, get Sean Payton. Hey, maybe the Cowboys' job is more alluring if they bottom out and they go, Sean, we'll give you the keys. Top 5 pick for you. You can pick your QB, Dak, whoever, and we'll make it work. That'd be nice. Why do I think the Cowboys would just say, Dan Quinn's enough, and interview three coaches? That's my fear. Or they trade a first for Sean. Jimmy Productions, Will Anderson to the Cowboys. That's fun. Let's do it. Tank and Micah and Anderson and maybe Sam Williams rushing the passer. Awesome. But if you're drafted in Will Anderson range, again, you need to consider quarterback. I think you have to. Luis D. Garza, Jake Fromm. No. He's bad. No. He's that's like just it's Cooper Rush, same, but different. Like there's no change there. It's more of the exact same. So I pass on Jake Fromm. If you have questions, since it was an all super chat mailbag, DM me on Twitter at @whatgoingdowney, and I'll answer them when I have time and am in a better headspace. On Twitter at @whatgoingdowney. Week 2 now, just around the corner. Too quickly, by the way. Who you got? DAL for the Cowboys, CIN for the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll get to some more super chats here in a second. DIL, CIN. This, by the way, I hate this because this is the Downey Bowl. Because I'm from Cincinnati. My family are Bengals fans.
There's a lot of Cincinnati fans
It's
in the chat.
Cincinnati. Come on, a pissed off Bengals team coming off a 5 turnover. We're not going to do that twice. It might be ugly and sloppy again. Your defense has to carry you. You need a multiple takeaway game on defense to win. Like, that's the only way you're going to win football games. It's the only way. You're going to need your defense to have 10 points on their own.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's Cincinnati.
Yeah, me too. I think the Bengals they end up winning this one pretty easily.
Which sucks because now my family gets to shit talk me. But I can say, well, Dak was hurt.
That means I get to shit talk you.
Yeah, I mean, you do that anyway.
I mean, what is Trevon Diggs' excuse going to be when he gets burned by Jamar Chase?
That matchup worries me. That matchup worries me. Because it's Jamar Chase, right? Like, Justin Jefferson, Chase, Devontae Adams, there are 0 corners that are like, I'm not worried at all.
Don't worry. Y'all have, like $20 million in cap space, so y'all can pay Diggs that extension.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Tom. Y'all are good on that front.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. A bit worried about that matchup. See if T. Higgins plays. And Diggs was pretty good against Mike Evans, by the way. I think it was like 33 yards allowed. The awesome TD kind of hurt him, but I thought he played just fine. All right, Super Chats here from G Sound. High draft pick next year. We're cooked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad about a high draft pick. Knowing this team, they'll be terrible without Dak, and then they'll win 3 games when he comes back and be just outside the top 5. Watch. G Productions. How about Nick Mullins for a 7th round pick? It's a good question. No. Like it's only a 7th, right? How much better than Cooper Rush is Nick Mullins? My answer is not enough, and like maybe a little bit. But if you're trading away, like what's the point then? Like even if it's only 7th, keep your assets. Maybe you get lucky and find someone nice. Your Productions, Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud? I would go Bryce Young. That's where I go as well. I really wish Young had Stroud's size. He's not a big player, but I do think he offers just his composure and his pocket manipulation. And even though he's a big-time back foot thrower, like he played great against Texas. Like the numbers don't say so. He played great.
A lot of mental mistakes,
especially on the offense. Like penalties, quarterback trying to play really well. Stat line looks bad. He'd fit right in. All right. We'll go to the. I think we can skip loop today. We went pretty long today. Let's no loop. Let's go right into the supers and shot clock here, because we went pretty long on today, and I think with all the supers it'd be kind of janky as a loop cut. So I'm okay with that though. Sorry for making you extra work there. People asking why did Tolbert not play, by the way. They didn't think he was good enough. 3rd round pick played 0 snaps. Wasn't even active. It's not great. All right. We will stay live as long as the supers are coming in. On top of that, every 60 seconds we'll go discounted shot clock rates here. Every $10 super is a shot. Now, I see Boss Man Fat just threw in $5 there. If you throw in 5 more, we'll count it for you. Since you put it in as we were talking about, I know there's a delay on YouTube. It's all good. We'll put 60 seconds on the clock here in a second. Every $10 super that comes in, it is a shot from myself or producer Jeremy. If you want to specify, feel free. Otherwise, we'll just rotate. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock right now. Get them in, and we will stay live as long as the supers are coming in. I see Justin and Bossman Fat and Jimmy Productions and Luis D. Garza. I see your supers. We'll hit them here. We'll give you guys the minute. Every $10 super that comes in equals a shot. And we'll do this a few times as the supers come in here. So throw them in. You got 30 more seconds or no more shots. By the way, we do owe one, Jeremy, for $269 in supers.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do one right now here.
I don't really want to drink, but.
You don't want to drink, Jeremy says. Well, too bad. Bottoms up. There we go. I see Jimmy again coming through there. Again, $10 super equals a shot. Got 3 seconds left, Jeremy.
3.
Disappointing.
2. Jimmy's going for quantity over quality.
Yeah. So we'll hit all the supers. If no more come in while we're doing that, we'll do one more chance at shot clock, and then we'll go. That's how it's going to be. So you have chances, but you got to keep the supers coming. So let's start off here with, where are we at? We're at Justin Marone. Are you worried about Lamb becoming a true number one? Yeah.
He's no A.J. Brown.
I mean, look, Brown played great that game. And I'll give the Eagles credit. They got him the damn football. And they got it in creative ways. They got him the football. The Cowboys didn't. Like, they did not do a good job of scheming touches for CeeDee Lamb, which you make a big deal all year about Lamb, targets, and then it comes to week one, and you give him targets. They're not good targets. The throw wasn't perfect. He dropped one he should have caught. He had to catch on a third down. They are asking long developing routes. Like, there's nothing that comes easy to the Cowboys offense if the supporting cast isn't playing well. That's a coaching issue. So, yes, I am. And if he plays great when Gallup comes back, that's fine. But this is a big chance for him. Didn't show up. All right, Boss Man Fat. Keep thinking CeeDee loves to smell good, soft as a lamb. Schultz will get open on their own. Is good enough for the tank. Top 3 pick easy. I get what you're saying, despite some weird wording there.
All right,
look,
Lone Wolf.
I think the coaching staff does think that, Lamb and Schultz is fine. They'll get open. Look, I mean, you can tell how much Dak trusts Dalton Schultz on those little comeback routes. Those are not open throws. Those are contested. Those are tight window throws, and Dak's like, I trust him. But there's your difference in, even though Noah Brown's not getting open and Fejoko's and Houston aren't getting open, there's way more trust. He's a better player than those guys. The tank, I don't mind. By the way, Lone Wolf has a $10 super. He says Jeremy drinks. So we'll get to that one here in a little bit. Thank you, Lone Wolf.
I can pull that one up right
Pull it up right now. There we go, Lone Wolf. $10 super. Jeremy doing some fireball shots today. If you get Jeremy hammered, it's funny. Might make a mistake on air. So thank you, Lone Wolf. I appreciate that one. All right, some more supers here. Then we'll reset the shot clock before we go. We did the Boss Man Fat one. We are at Jimmy Productions again. I think Tyler Smith did last night. I thought he played pretty well.
He was okay.
Not perfect, but like there was a false start by Tyler Smith, which, I think we knew was going to happen. It was the one penalty. It wasn't as bad as Terrence Steele's 4 when you commit 7 penalties on offense.
Tom,
what are you doing, man?
Tom, I have an easy solution for you.
Okay.
Your left tackle of the future. And it only takes 1 first-round pick for Andre Dillard.
No.
1 first
Stop
for
it.
Andre Dillard.
He's hurt.
For now?
You're a snake oil salesman out there.
He's your left tackle of the future. Him and Tyler Smith next to each other would be
The
amazing.
car needs a new engine, but imagine if you fix it.
Right?
Stop it. No, I thought Smith was solid. There were only a couple times like, ooh, that was a bad rep. There was a miscommunication on the free rusher from Smith's side. It might have been Dak setting the protection wrong, but I don't really think that was the case. I feel like Smith just kind of missed it. So I think I have him down as 1 sack allowed, a pressure late as well. Solid in the run game. The run blocking was pretty solid overall, but, good overshadowed by all your injuries and shitty offensive line play. Let me put it this way. He was not your problem. He was not your problem. Farniok, Steele, dare I say Biotish? Because he had a penalty again.
Oh, you talking about badass?
Yeah, he ain't a badass. Not great. Not great.
You should have gone with Cam Jurgens.
They couldn't take him in the second, but yeah, they're fine. All right, Luis. I'm going to rant here. They have done for 2 years now. Oh, we got competition coming for Tyler Biotish, and they've never actually done competition. They've done 7th-round pick Matt Farniok, who's not good enough right now at all. And what if we try the Connor late at center and didn't give him any prep time?
I mean,
who played well in Miami, by the way.
What the Eagles did, a class organization, really smart, forward-thinking, unlike some other organizations in the NFC East. They had their Pro Bowl center scout the center of the future and draft him. If only the Cowboys had a really good center the past couple of years that they could have kind of talked to and mentor.
They did take the one from the same school. So I'll say this. Eagles do a good job. Like I told you before.
They do a great job.
If they had a healthy Dak Prescott at QB, I think they'd be the NFC favorite.
I mean, they are.
They're not.
They're the NFC favorite
They're
right
not.
now.
They're not. But
because we
they would
have
have been.
Jalen Big D Hurts.
Yeah, let me know when he doesn't throw balls in the dirt too consistently. All right, Luis D. Garza, seems like you say no to all these pickups, LOL. Yeah, I don't want anyone. Because if you go after someone, it tells me you're like, yeah, we were worried, but we just didn't care. We didn't care about our quarterback depth, and we thought we were invincible. Like, if you were worried about your depth, the time to make a move was 4 months ago, not after Dak suffers an injury again. If you do it now, it's a panic move, and it's not going to fix your team.
Tom, sometimes when you fly too close to the sun, you get burned.
All right, Jimmy Productions. The Commanders' uniforms are ugly. Yeah, they suck. By the way, did you see this? I put it on social media. At their gift shop, the Commanders were selling the state of Washington outline with the big Commander W on it. The state of Washington. They, of course, do not play where the Seahawks play. Utterly hilarious. Poverty franchise.
Wait,
that we can agree on.
Did anybody buy them?
I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of like a funny collector's item. But poverty franchise.
I want that.
Poverty franchise. All the way through. All right, Mark, $5. Bad that Simi, Noah, and Houston delivered Tolbert. No, it'd be hard for us to be receiver 3 on any team. Fehoko and Houston are even worse. Too much hype. I don't remember. I agree. Mark, your 3rd-round pick can't be active. That's bad. I saw people spinning it as like, receiver wasn't a need. We got a game of samples. I said, yes, it was. It was a problem. We didn't care. You thought you had good players. Like, if Noah Brown, Fehoko, and Houston are your receiver 4 or 5, I think you're okay. When they are your 2 and your 3, it went the way we thought it was going to, where it wasn't good enough. That's why every show there was a add this receiver guy. Like, you're right. Noah Brown is not a number 3 on most teams. He was your 2 last night.
Should y'all have drafted Sky Moore?
I mean, I would have loved Sky Moore, but he went off just before you. I would have been over the moon for Sky Moore or George Pickens. I love those guys.
Who got drafted after Tolbert that you would have wanted?
Let me double check. There weren't that many guys before Tolbert that I actually had higher. I liked Tolbert a lot, and like it didn't go well. Wasn't active, which, I mean, I have a tough time saying that was right with what we saw. Feel like maybe it was a bad decision. Hope I'm wrong there. I'm pulling up my board here, Chugs. Alec Pierce was gone. I don't think I had anybody above him. I had Tolbert there. Now, I had 10 receivers in front of him, but they were all gone.
Yeah.
I only like 2 of them were even taken in between. So, like, the receiver kind of dried up a little bit for me. But there was no one I was going to take over them. So that's just, again, it was a good pick. Bad week 1 result.
You could have gotten George Pickens in the 2nd and Dominique Robinson in the.
Well, Pickens was gone though.
By your 2nd?
Pickens went before you. Pickens and
You could've gotten Sky Moore.
all went off just before you picked Sam Williams. Both those guys just before you, which was heartbreaking. At least I'm pretty sure that was the case. Let me double check.
Man,
All right.
If only y'all could have kept Ced Wilson.
I mean, again, if you're going to trade Cooper, you should have. But whatever. I don't think guess they didn't want to keep him, which, whatever. All right, Justin Marone. Theoretically, what could we get for Dak in a trade? I have no idea. I don't know.
Dak and 2
Is
firsts.
is he healthy? Then it should be a lot. But now I don't know if he's healthy.
Dak and
So
2 Dak and 2 firsts for Lamar.
I don't know if I want to. I am terrified of trading 2 firsts, then paying Lamar big money when he was hurt last year. So this is a future me problem, and I'll have a better answer for you. But I think if you are moving on from Dak, I would want to go cheap at QB. Mm-hmm. I would want to draft somebody, which interjects a whole new level of risk. But that's the route I would rather go just myself here. All right, Dwayne Jackson. If you're Sean Payton,
you want to take a shot?
Why would you want? Oh, it is 10. Thank you. Why would you want the Cowboys job if they're going to approach improving by being cheap? Why would anyone take this job if the Joneses keep undermining? Who wants to be the Joneses puppet? Someone who wants to be a head coach real bad. But that's not alluring to some people. The only way you get Sean Payton is if you say we're going to give you actual control. Now look, they do a great job of listening to their coaches. But if they do what they did this year to Mike, to Sean, he's not going to come. There's no reason for him to. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not going to come.
Do not come.
But I think it's funny you say that because this is exactly what happened with the Houston Texans, in my opinion, whenever they hired Culley.
Yeah.
In that they hired Culley and everybody was pissed. They were like, who the hell is David Culley? But I think it was because none of their top options wanted to coach there.
I agree. No one wanted that job. It was a bad situation. Now, I don't think the Cowboys' job is nearly that bad. I think there is still some allure. You've got some good players on this team. If, for example, you're an offensive line and you love Dak, like I know Sean does, pre-injury stuff, you're like, I can make it work. Yeah. And I think that coaches are often an arrogant sort. That's why they reach the level of position that they do. They think they can make it work. So we'll see. All right, Sean Fripp. Fire Moore today. Give play calling to Mike. I have mentioned this before. If you are Mike McCarthy and the offense continues to be bad, you need to take over play calling duties. You can keep Kellen in the room if you want, but that is your ass on the line.
Kellen should have
taken that. And you're an offensive mind.
Kellen should have taken that Boise State job.
I mean, maybe he should have. They have not been great either. If you are McCarthy, you're like, this is not working, I'm going to get fired, show me you care and fire Kellen and take over play calling. Otherwise, it just shows me that you don't care. That's all it shows me. All right, from Mark again, I would have kept Ced for $7 million, solid guy. Now, he didn't do much in week 1. That's okay. They ended up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, so, that's how it tends to go. But it wasn't that bad of a deal. But the Cowboys were not paying him that. That was never in their plans. Tony Peters, $20. Shot for both of us, I think, Jeremy. For Olivia's diapers, since the Cowboys are doo-doo, I absolutely love it. We could have gotten Julio Jones for nothing. Look, I was worried that Julio Jones was washed. But I was also at the point of, let's try stuff. I wanted Will Fuller. He's unsigned. Julio looked great last night. He looked like closer to old Julio.
Was it Marsh that told us he reached a peak speed of 20 miles
per
hour?
He was 20 or 21, one of the two. Maybe it was Saquon was 21. He looked great. But, that's the difference in organizations, right? The Bucs go, we got Mike Evans, we got Chris Godwin, and Russell Gage. That's a great receiver trio. Their answer was, let's add Julio too. The Cowboys went, we got CeeDee Lamb, injured Gallup, Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert. That'll be fine. There's the what me worry organization. It's just difference in how you run, good versus bad. Plain and simple. Pug Racer. Are we blowing it up and rebuilding the offense? I mean, you have the option to now if you want, because I think you're going to be bad the next month and a half, 2 months. You have offensive line issues, receiving core issues. You are in a reset. Are Zeke and Pollard both going to be back next year? No, I don't think so. That is a reset there. You've already begun to overhaul your receiving core and offensive line, so that's a change. So, yeah, I think I don't know about a full-fledged rebuild, but a reset is on the horizon right now.
JRM, you're a weird dude.
All right, let's go to – I'm just going to ignore it. Boss fan Matt, 50-point losses on the horizon. I don't think you'll lose by 50. I think your defense is too good. Now, I think you will have some games in which –
will you lose by 24, 28?
24-7? Like that. Oh, that Packers-Vikings. We'll keep going back to that game. Yeah. Look, I mean, DW9 was like, we scored 29 against that same defense on the road last year. You did. Now, your quarterback played a lot better in that game, but your supporting cast was a lot better in that game, too.
Well, we have a couple of super chats with new head coach options.
Yeah, James Herr, hire Eric Bieniemy from KC. Reed staff, proven winners. Are they? Are they, though? Matt Nagy, wasn't it? Like Eric Bieniemy has had a lot of chances over the
Doug Peterson
the
won
years.
a Super Bowl.
Peterson's a great one. Don't get me wrong on that front. But if we get to count John Harbaugh and Sean McDermott, then yes. Now that feels a little bit like Harbaugh. I think we should definitely count because he was the special teams coach in Philadelphia and then he went to the Ravens there. McDermott, what was his connection? He was in Carolina when he got that job. McDermott was briefly a DC, but he wasn't hired from the Reed tree immediately, so I don't really want to count that one. Beyond that, you've got Brad Childress, Steve Spagnuolo, Leslie Frazier. Do we get to count Ron Rivera for that one? Let me double check. He's a great defensive coordinator. I don't know as my head coach.
Yeah.
Counting Ron Rivera feels like cheating because it wasn't from that job. Pat Shurmur, Todd Bowles, I guess we can count. Matt Nagy, David Culley. Kind of, sort of with Culley. I don't consider them proven winners. Also, I am hesitant to just say, let's hire this guy's assistant. Doesn't always work that well.
Now,
it's too much Patriot way for me.
This Jimmy Productions, I completely agree. It's against the grain. I don't think it's a flashy move, but the first name with this one, I wouldn't mind.
Jimmy says DeMeco Ryans from San Francisco and the Rams DC. I don't love Raheem Morris.
I think DeMeco Ryans.
I think Ryans is a very
awesome.
bright mind. Here's the issue I run into.
You already have Dan Quinn.
You have Dan Quinn. But is promoting Dan Quinn just more of the same? Like, I am at the point where I would like a culture change. And I know that is asking so much because your culture stems from your ownership. In the words of Jalen Smith, if the owner ain't tripping, we all good. Owner's got to be tripping at some point with this. And he hasn't been. Steven and Jerry. They're fine. Everyone's talking about the Cowboys today. Everyone is. They ain't worried about it. So, look, I would love a culture change.
Lincoln Riley.
I think Sean Payton could be that culture change guy. Would they let him?
Would you drop the bag for Lincoln Riley?
I don't think he's leaving.
But if you,
I would have a year ago. I don't think he's leaving here. Like I think he's staying.
Well, okay. You go through one more year of this, right? You don't draft a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Would you drop the bag on Lincoln Riley? You get a top 5 pick,
take
not
Caleb
next
Williams.
year, but the next year, and get Caleb Williams.
You draft Jordan Addison this year and then take Caleb Williams, right? I don't mind it. Like if you could do it, I would have interest in. I think he's a great offensive mind. I think it translates enough to the NFL.
Yeah.
Or
Bill O'Brien.
No. Motherfucker. Like I am of this mindset. Like you have to bring something to the table for me as a head coach, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's an in-game advantage, it's a a decision-making advantage. It's a prep advantage. It's a management advantage, a leadership, a play-calling advantage like McVay and Shanahan bring you. What is the advantage that Mike McCarthy brings you? He typically does a good job of managing injuries.
He's a huge analytics and film guy. He watched every single snap from the Cowboys' past 5 seasons.
Look, when he gets fired, we're gonna go, you know what? He lied to us. Like, that should have upset the Joneses a lot more than it did. Like, he stood up there joking about how he lied to you about it. Like, I don't know, if it were me, and it's my first day on the job, and I'd be like, yeah, I didn't actually do that. I lied about my resume. I feel like my boss is going to be like, what are you doing over there, bud? What are you doing?
Coming to work like, hey, Tom, is there any way you can make this spreadsheet really quick? Like, I hate to break it to you, I'm not proficient in Microsoft Excel.
In anything. All right, again from Jimmy Productions, Ken Dorsey, the Bills OC. I got to see him more than one game as a play caller. Now, I think he's got a bright future.
And it's...
Brian Dable was my guy last year. He's been my guy for a while.
It's tough with the second OC with Josh Allen, and you're starting off with Josh Allen to be like, is he not a product of having top 3 quarterback in the league? Yeah,
that's the tricky part for me. So
kind of like with
young name.
Kind of like with Nagy, everybody was like, oh my God, he had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
and then crazy.
Beer cheers for you, Jimmy.
Crazy when you don't have Patrick Mahomes that you're not as good.
And that's the challenge of hiring coaches. Like, they're almost always good teams. Well, now you're not a good team. You just fired your coach. All right, we're going to put a minute 30, starting in a minute, on the shot clock. We'll keep open the $10 for shots, but if the supers stop coming in, we're going to end today's live show. Minute 30, starting now. Let me know in the comments. I see Jerry knows craft. I trade for Bill Belichick. Look, if you're worried about Sean Payton having control, how's Bill going to fare with Jerry?
Well, and also, I mean, he hasn't really shown that much of, being a GM and evaluating and picking talent.
I think McClay and Bill would be a great combo. Because I trust McClay overall. They're not perfect. They miss. Everyone misses. But Bill does miss a lot as a drafter. But he also understands the value of multiple picks.
He took N'Keal
Harry over DK Metcalf. Also over J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, too.
Yeah.
Fun fact. All right. We'll see what happens here. We got one super. We'll reset the clock here, Jeremy. We'll go to the super and start again in a minute. We are, by the way, let me do some math here, 25 away from 369 in supers for a shot.
Nice.
All right, Sean Newbeck, way to protect your investment. I assume this is about your quarterback, right? Like, you had a chance to make a better offensive line and do everything possible to make your quarterback better. And I agree with Sean. They didn't do that. Look at how the Chargers have run their organization. They threw money. The Eagles with Hurts. Now, those are cheap deals. But we can look at the Bills and Josh Allen. They throw money at Von Miller after building a good offense around Josh Allen. The Chiefs, who are paying Mahomes more this year than Dak, by the way, by a pretty good amount, they're like, look at all these offensive linemen we added. They did not pay Tyreek Hill, and they immediately signed 2 receivers and draft one in the second round. Yeah. Cowboys didn't do that. They were like, CeeDee's fine. Who needs anyone else? Like, the well-run teams are like, we have a franchise guy. Let's have success around him. Let's put them in good positions. The Cowboys' mindset was, you know what? Let's see what happens. It borders on scapegoats. Like, we're just going to find new scapegoats every year. Mike, then Dak, then we'll try someone else. And you heard from Stephen Jones earlier today. He said the Cowboys should have had reps in the preseason for their starters, which is fine. I was worried about injuries. Guess we were right on that front. I think they would have looked better with more time together. But it's also passing the buck of, it's not my fault. We had no preseason games. Yeah. That's why the offense looked bad. Not because I made my offense actively worse. I don't buy it. Now, Alumni says Deion Sanders for head coach. Florida State? Yes. Dallas Cowboys? No. I don't think Deion would work as an NFL head coach. A college head coach, yes. I mentioned earlier, like how do you win? What do you bring to me as an advantage? What does Deion bring? Recruiting.
Swagger.
He's got the swag. He's got the recruiting. He's luring 5 stars to an FCS school. Like he's doing a great job of that. Doesn't work in the NFL though. You can't recruit kids and be like, hey, come play for me. Paying me more? No. Okay, bye. Like it's not going to work in the NFL. Now college, yes. NFL, no. From Conquer, Andrew Luck. He ain't coming back. Have you seen photos of Luck lately?
He looks homeless.
He is not in football shape. He is not. He's never coming back. I think he is happy being out in the NFL.
Not a super chat, but I just had to pull this up for you.
Is this James's burner account? J.J. McCarthy, Michigan as our future QB. He looked great against a trash Hawaii team. They are garbage, by the way.
It's actually Hawaii.
Hawaii. Let's see what happens then. Let's see. He's got a year and a half, basically 2 years of football. Come check in with me next year. Then we'll make a call. Dream Productions. We need a tough guy like Dan Campbell. I think Campbell's done a great job in Detroit. He kind of comes from that Bill Parcells tree. I think his attitude and leadership gives you an advantage. If you can find one, sure. Find the next good young coach. Let's ride. Of course, you can't get Dan Campbell himself. I think Campbell could have worked in Dallas. Maybe should have interviewed him. Because remember the last time you hired a coach, you interviewed 2 people. Marvin Lewis and Mike McCarthy. You didn't try.
It was an extensive search.
It was an extensive search. We interviewed everyone with the first name M in the NFL. Like, they have not done a real search since Wade Phillips. It's a very long time ago. All right, new shot clock here. 1 minute. If the Supers continue, we'll stay live. Otherwise, we will end things here. Big thanks to everyone who has super chatted today. Hope this was a good therapy session.
Good job, guys.
I don't feel much better. I hope you guys do, though.
It's a great day. Get outside. It's amazing today.
But, we'll see.
And it's a great day to be alive. You know the sun's
singing.
Still shining when I close my eyes.
Keep singing.
Don't you love it?
Not really. Not really. How much time we got left on that timer?
10 seconds.
Alumni says what the weather sucks today. It's a good point, Jeremy. It's fine in Dallas. Might not be fine elsewhere. You're assuming.
Isn't that weather everywhere?
That it's different in some places?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. No, see.
Nice glare, Jeremy. Good effort. We hit the minute though, didn't we?
Yeah. 87 and sunny in Dallas.
Better than 107, I'll tell you that much. All right, that is it for today's show. We'll be back again tomorrow for the Cowboys Report here. A big thanks to everyone who stopped by. Hopefully a little bit better feelings internally, but I don't feel much better. I'm going to punch you after today's show. We'll see you guys tomorrow back here on the Cowboys Report. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe, and everyone type FU Jeremy in the comment section too.